Mark, this is a nice landscape that you have here. Tell me what's happening.
Well, again, I think we found the perfect application for a JB downlight
Okay.
to highlight our landscape bed down here.
So you're using downlights, looks like directional downlights, highlighting. Is it just this area or is it spreading out to the paths?
Well, there's a little bit of bleed over, but because we use the longer hoods on the front of the JBs, it really does centric the light slowly in this bed, but it does give a wonderful glow to it.
What I like about your selection here is you don't need any path lights. It's not, there's no tripping hazards, nothing for anybody to kick over. You're isolating the light source at the top. It really allows the light to transition smoothly, and it makes a very inviting and comfortable look for those who are in this space.
Completely.
Now, Mike, we're at the edge of the property in the backyard, and we're underneath this great tree. Tell me a little bit about the tree, this area, and how you decided to light it.
Okay, what we have here is an old mature Palo Verde, which really kind of lends itself to different aspects. We certainly get the height, which is you have to take advantage of here in Arizona because not a lot of trees grow tall. But when you have an instance like this, we chose to put a PS hanging light here with, you can have a 3, a 6, or a 9 LED in it. As the tree matures or grows larger, you can certainly adapt to that aspect, but the benefit of it is you really get your bang for the buck, and for one fixture, you really encompasses quite a bit of light.
Now, I like your use of the PS because this is an unusual use of this fixture, right? It's typically a surface-mounted downlight,
right?
But in this case, we've put a hanging bracket mount on it and used it as a pendant. But you only used one. Now, tell me, what are the benefits of using a single downlight as opposed to typical uplights that you might find?
Well, in my opinion, I really like the aspect of the hanging light, and due to the fact that we have such a great amount of height, that one light can do the job of 2 or 3 other lights if they were lower. Now, with that, it will look very natural because it kind of moves with the type of bracketing system that we have. The hanging bracketing system illuminates the tree, so it's still, even though it's a long way away from where the people might be standing, they still can appreciate the character of the tree, and it does a really great job of lighting the flora around it.
Now, did you light other trees this same way with just a downlight and no uplights?
It's kind of, yes, we do that on occasion. We mix it up, to kind of give a variability of intensity on different trees and things, just to give it a little, just kind of a flowing texture of light is basically the concept behind that.
And what helps you make that decision? What is it? What makes a tree better for downlighting as opposed to a tree better for uplighting?
Okay, well, I think that a lot of the trees out west here lend themselves to uplighting just due to the beauty of the nature of the bark and the buildup of the tree. We try to incorporate the downlighting just to kind of give a balance and a little bit of difference between the different lightings, just so your eye kind of tricks your eye into seeing more than one effect. You can go either way on that. That's kind of what your restraints might be and what your budget will accept.
So Chris, tell me a little bit about the lighting plan that you have set up over here.
We're standing at the entryway into the residence. We've got 2 beautiful specimen trees, an olive and a Palo Verde here. What we did was we decided to do downlighting to kind of accent this, along with the uplighting on the trees. It kind of differentiates this residence from the other residences in the area.
So what is unique about downlighting? Why do you decide to downlight a tree?
Downlighting is the most natural form of light. It's what we're all used to seeing, and contractors seem to always want to just uplight. But what it does is it just brings a different effect coming down through. It helps you illuminate plants and annuals on the ground below.
Okay, so it looks like you've selected to downlight in 2 ways, with a directional downlight like the JB up there, and then a few pendants. So tell me about it. Yeah,
what we used was the J-box mount on the JB fixture up there to illuminate the inside of the tree, the multi-trunk Palo Verde, and also catch the specimen plants that are below.
And what is your goal when you aim or direct that directional downlight down at the tree? What is your goal in trying to create?
Our first goal is to hide the source of the light. So what we do is we use the limb along with the shroud on the JB fixture to help shield that, and then our next goal is to just get the interior of the tree that's usually not illuminated with uplights.
Okay, and you're really highlighting the branching structure, right? Even skimming that the first one all the way down.
Correct, yep.
I bet that's gonna look great. What about the pendant lights, the VEs and LEs?
Yeah, we use 2 different types here. We went with the the LE, which is the one LED, a little bit softer, and then in the center here we went with the VE to kind of throw a bigger pool of light.
Okay. And what does that natural pendant light kind of create? What does it do?
It does a very nice job moonlighting, creating shadowing if you can get up into the secondary canopy.
Okay.
Illuminates this area if the people are traveling down, up or down, you know, for parties and whatnot. Just gives a safety feel.
Yeah, I bet it does. It's very natural, inviting, and even I like the smooth transitions of light. You don't get a lot of hard lines when you have hanging pendant lights.
That's correct.
So tell me, Chris, a little bit about this area that we're lighting now.
This area is actually the courtyard of the hotel. It's kind of the center meeting place, and we've got palm trees lining both sides of the grass area.
Yeah, you do. There's how many? Like 23?
There's
24?
23 total palms.
Wow, okay, great. So in an area as high traffic as this area with the courtyard, how do you decide to light this area?
We took a couple things into consideration. We wanted to bring out the aesthetic beauty of the palms.
Okay.
That was number one, and number two, we wanted to bring out the make sure it was safe to travel through here at night.
So focusing on aesthetics and functionality, what type of lights or categories do you use for that?
We'd use downlighting for the safety aspect. Again, the higher we can get the fixture, the more light output or the wider area you're going to get with the light.
Okay.
We've got JBs and DEs on the palms, probably about 15 feet up, shooting down onto the path.
Okay. All right, perfect. So really the downlights are really more of a functional light?
Functional and safety, yes.
So now we're talking about just this tree in general, but it's really not just this one tree, right? It's both trees along the entire side?
It's a very large area. Again, these trees are probably 15 to 20 feet apart, and there's 23 of them, and we've also got across the other side of the lawn area.
Now we've got a nice wide open space.
Okay.
And what this is going to allow us to do is, light the hardscape and the grass area.
Okay.
Now the challenge here is they got a big golden retriever, right? So we didn't want to put a lot of path lights that the dog could trip on. And so what we did was we looked up.
Okay.
And right here we have a 20-foot eave. So we can tuck some JB downlights up in there, and we can downlight and moonlight from up that area.
Now, coming from so high, maybe close to the house, how do you make the light transition smoothly without making a harsh circle on the ground?
I think the big thing is the elevation that we're coming from. So we're so high up that we can angle it just a little bit, and we can evenly wash the area.
Interesting. Now, also, what about the color temperature? I mean, warm light on the grass, how's that going to look at night?
Well, typically when I downlight, I like to use moonlight effect. So what I'm going to try and do is go away from an incandescent. And with the FX options, it allows us to switch the filters. So I can go from an amber to a blue filter. And the blue filter is going to kind of color balance with the moonlight.
Now, is it a really harsh blue that we're talking about, or something more lighter?
It's actually so light that you don't even really notice it. It's lit by low voltage, but when you're out here, it doesn't look like it's lit at all. It's just safe and secure.
Perfect. That's the perfect effect for this wide space when the homeowner wants to use it at night.
Yeah, exactly. And there's one other thing with the dimmability of it. We can have settings for party mode where it's nice and lit and bright, and we can also dim it down for security in the evening.
Perfect. Downlighting is the most natural lighting technique. Use downlights to softly illuminate gardens, shrubs, and landscape vegetation during the late evening and at night. Downlights installed in man-made structures like pavilions, gazebos, or trellises provide a nice light to high-traffic areas. When you install downlights above a tree canopy, you can achieve a very dramatic moonlighting look with shadows. You can also use downlights to illuminate walkways or areas with changing elevation.